Hey, welcome back to the Real Estate Boss Show, and I got something really cool to talk about today. So I have a question. First of all, do you deal with issues or ever had dealt with an issue where you had the need of an attorney? The problem is attorney cost is really, really expensive. But what if you had an alternative to that that was way cheaper and more, I would say, tailored to you? I think that would be a great option. So I got a special guest here today, and it's Tammy Gibbs. Hey, Tammy, how are you?
Nice to meet you, Dan.
Nice meeting you.
I'm glad to be here.
Great. I'm glad you're here too.
Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. I'm glad that you're here. So I guess what I'd like to start off first is tell me a little bit about yourself and, how long you've been living here in the Melbourne, Viera area, and then how did you get to getting with LegalShield?
Oh, well, I have lived here actually in Brevard County for about 27 years now. I moved down here from Tennessee. I was a Army brat. So my dad was in the Army, my first husband was in the Army, and we were stationed up in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and then moved to down here, like I said, 27 years ago. I've done a number of different things, mainly being a single mom. I'm a mother of 3 adult children and nana to 7 grandchildren.
7
grandchildren.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, ranging from about 5 months to about 17 and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good range.
Yeah, very, very proud of my grandkids, also my children. But prior to LegalShield, I was also a small business owner. So I was working, many, many hours, 60, 80 hours a week running my carpet store. Mm-hmm. And, just was looking for a way to try and create some additional income that didn't interfere with what I was doing at the carpet store. Because mm-hmm. once I first, when I first took a look at LegalShield, it was back in 2010. When the economy wasn't doing very well and everything, but I couldn't really walk away from my carpet business at the time. Mm-hmm. And I was introduced to LegalShield, and that was really my plan B at the time. Mm-hmm. And just really enjoyed working with people, servicing customers and just different things. And about a year and a half into it, I was able to walk away from the carpet store, and my plan B became my plan A, and just been working with people ever since.
Oh, so you're an entrepreneur at heart.
Pretty much, yeah, I would say so. I call myself unemployable.
That's great. Yeah. So give me a little bit of an overview of LegalShield, and I know there's also IDShield. So give me an overview of that.
Well, just briefly, LegalShield provides a life events legal plan. We also have many specialty plans, just different things. What I like to say is we take the time-consuming, expensive, complicated legal system and we make it simple, easy, and more affordable for individuals, families, small businesses, you name it. And then our IDShield plan, we have the most comprehensive identity theft protection out there, including 100% restoration for all types of identity theft issues. That's pretty much a brief overview.
Perfect. No, absolutely. No, that's good. So I know there's other companies out there that are similar to LegalShield, but what sets LegalShield apart from all these other companies out there? Because I would say you guys are like the runner-up. Like you guys are like, that's it, you're it. You're the one, right? So what would you say is different from LegalShield from all these other people out there that are, second place, third place?
So another great question. So what really sets us apart is our members have access to the best quality law firms in the country. And the law firms are paid at the top of every month. They get 1/3 of every membership dollar that's paid in. Mm-hmm. So they service, members in their area, and it's based on the number of members that they're servicing there. So really and truly, the only way for their revenue to ever increase is to do a good job word of mouth, that type of thing, where members increase. So, most of the time we are the number one client for that law firm. And then when our members call in, they're treated like the number one client.
So these attorneys are actually local to the different areas. So, for example, we're in Melbourne, Viera area. So if somebody was to join LegalShield, they would have an attorney that would be localized over here, like in Brevard, for example, or very close to here. Is that how that works?
Well, similar. So with our system, we have what we call a provider law firm. And this provider law firm houses attorneys that specialize in every area of law. So it's not just one attorney in one specialty. So they have access to all. And depending on your address, that when you sign up as a member, that's the provider firm that is taking care of you. So whenever there's an issue, concern, or anything, you're going to call the 800 number for the provider firm. Now, most of the issues are handled through that provider firm. However, if there are some things that kind of require more local types of things, then we also have attorneys in your local area that would handle that. But the first initial avenue you're going to take is to contact the provider law firm.
Okay, so start yourself with the provider law firm, and then if they need to bring it to like a super local level, then at that point they would do so,
right,
if it needed to be.
Yeah.
And LegalShield has been around for a long time. How long have they been in the business?
We have been around since 1972, so 51 years. I think we've kind of stood the test of time.
I think so. Quite a bit. Yeah.
Not going to say we're perfect, because nobody's perfect out there, but I think we kind of know what we're doing. What I always tell the people, my members, my people, I always say, if something is not going the way you think it should be going, I want you to give me a call and let me handle that situation and try and get it right for you. But remember, I'm not the attorney. Don't call me, because
she cannot give legal advice, so do not ask for that.
Yeah, I do not want to be the attorney either. That's their job.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so.
Very cool. So Tammy, what is the company's mission?
Well, our mission is to provide equal access to the equality, justice, and opportunity that everyone deserves. So, again, that is, providing that for people, just like it says on the west side of the Supreme Court building in D.C., equal access and justice for all. When really and truly we know that's not true in today's world.
Right, exactly.
So that's why we are doing what we're doing here with LegalShield, 51 years now.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
And that's great, right? You guys stood the test of time for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And I know there's a lot of different services that LegalShield provides. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like, what services do you guys do for? Because I know you guys do real estate services, and there's other things too, family law, right? Like, let's talk a little bit about that. What do you guys have?
So, there's all different types of programs, specialties that we provide with our services, because you have access to the law firms that have our specialties in every area of law, so we can handle all areas of law. However, some of our specialty plans are more specialized just for that particular industry. We have things that help out realtors, brokers, commercial drivers, gun owners, public servants, law enforcement, specialty plans, so many different things. And the thing is, with those specialty plans, it is specialized for that particular industry. So everybody has, different actual legal needs, and our plans, specialized for that particular industry.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it's you guys are hitting different, like pretty much a different area of different things. Sure. I mean, you can, you said like gun owners, for example. We have a lot of people out here who are gun owners, like myself. I carry. So, you know, if there was an event, something happens, and you don't have an attorney, you got a problem.
Yeah.
And the cost of that is really, really expensive.
It is. And we all know, and I mean, not that you mentioned the gun owners, but statistically, they said gun purchases have gone up over 400% in the last 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
So that's huge.
Yeah.
In being able to have a plan that's going to assist you with things that
that's really, really good.
Yeah.
I didn't know LegalShield did that, because there's other companies out there that just focus on that. But why pay for that service when you can have another service like LegalShield that you pay for that has like everything that's kind of bundled up? I mean, that's awesome. So you've been with LegalShield for a long time. LegalShield's been around for a long time. So I'm sure you got to have some type of success stories or testimonials or something. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I have been with LegalShield for 13 years. Matter of fact, I just had my 13th anniversary on the 26th
Congratulations.
of May. Thank you. You know, I could tell you many different, testimonials or stories that I've heard, you know, on how people have used the services. For example, one of our members had an issue with the bank where they had kind of checking and savings supposedly linked together for overdraft protection. And something beat them to the bank, caused a domino effect, and like 5 different insufficient fund charges to the tune of over $200 some odd.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So, the member went into the bank, had a conversation with the lady at the bank, and really got nowhere. The lady at the bank says, "Sorry, that's our policy." Well, how many times do you hear those words? And not necessarily just at the bank, but could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So does it make it legal? Do most people even know?
Yeah, exactly.
So the member went home, sent all of the documentation over to LegalShield to prove that they had been charged. And so LegalShield reviews the contracts or reviews the documents for them, turn around and wrote a letter for them, didn't cost them anything extra outside their monthly fee. And miraculously, the money appears back into their account within 2 weeks. So
that's pretty fast.
Yeah, that's one story. Then we've had, how about, traveling and the airline messes up your luggage.
Yeah, we hear that a lot.
Yeah.
And right, since after COVID, and that's been on the news, we've been hearing a lot of that stuff happening. It really does.
It does.
People go on a cruise or they fly, they get to the destination, the luggage is not there.
Luggage not there or destroyed or broken or something, but who's going to contact an attorney? What I always ask people is, how big does the issue have to be before you actually pick up the phone and call an attorney? And most people are just not going to do it, unless it's several $100s.
Yeah.
But with LegalShield, you don't have to think about it because it doesn't cost you anything extra.
You just make the phone call.
Just make the phone call. Sometimes they have you provide documents to them or pictures or whatever the case may be. And then, they review all of that, turn around and write letters for you. There's always some kind of consumer issues or whatever. And, that our attorneys write those strong, encouraging letters. When,
it kind of gets the ball moving forward quickly.
Yeah, because most people will do the right thing when they are strongly encouraged. So that's what I just say, the attorney's letters are those strong, encouraging letters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Very good.
Sometimes it's a lot quicker return and sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but, it's a lot better than the alternative.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's
Sure,
100%.
sure.
That's great. What would you say would be like the perfect criteria of a person? Like who is that perfect person that would apply with LegalShield?
Well, another great question, but pretty much, I hate to say it because it kind of just like bundles everybody into it, but the truth of the matter is everyone could benefit from having, a LegalShield plan, whether, you're, you own a house, you drive a car, you have teenagers driving, you own a business, you have children, pretty much everything in life.
Mm-hmm.
LegalShield has a way to assist you and help you throughout all of your life events.
So you mentioned business, and the reason I'm saying this, people, is because I know a lot of these folks are watching this. They're big business owners.
Sure.
So when you mentioned business, so let me ask you this: is there a way that you guys can take, like, let's say they're independent contractors, can they kind of get all bundled in and go under like a special policy or a group policy, or is there a discount? Like, what happens if they can group people together as a business owner or an organization? What is there anything that could be done with that, or?
Sure. So, for business owners, whether it's just a one person, one man show, and you're even working from home, or maybe you even have a brick and mortar business, but it's just you, or maybe you own a business and you have many employees. So we have plans, different specialties once again. To help those business owners out for their legal needs. But then also we provide employee benefits. And it's, kind of like all your other insurances out there. We're not an insurance product. We are an insurance-like product, though.
Okay.
But we can do employee benefits. And what we have found, actually, LegalShield has the top 3 out of 5 of the employee benefits that most people are looking for.
Wow.
So we're looking at LegalShield, IDShield, and also our pet insurance. So I'll get into that in a minute.
Insurance.
I'll get into that in a minute.
She's good. Pet insurance too. Okay.
Yeah. So, but as an employee benefit, people get it at a discounted rate. So same plans that we offer to individuals and stuff, you're just getting it at about a 30% discount. And the biggest thing is there's no out-of-pocket cost to the business owner. So many, many different reasons why the business owner may allow us to come in and provide employee benefits for them. But I could go over tons of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it benefits everybody all around.
That's awesome. So for those of you who are watching, pretty much what you're saying is a business owner who has, let's say, 50 employees, they can bundle up, and the business owner is not going to be financially, there's nothing that touches him. In other words, the clients would deal directly, or his employees would deal directly with LegalShield.
Right.
So he doesn't have to be bothered by anything. It's all taken care of,
Sure.
but they get the benefit of the discount.
Right.
That's
exactly.
awesome. But you got my interest on pet. I didn't know she did that. That's awesome. So let's talk about that.
So that goes more to our partnerships. So with our plans, our members get what we call our member perks. So this is an automatic thing. It doesn't cost them anything extra for the member perks. There are over 450 different vendors, places that they're shopping at already that you could get discounts at. So it could be products, it could be services, or just different things. Now, inside the member perks I think we have 2 or 3 different pet insurances available, that, the members would have access to.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, because I know, for example, like my mother, she has a dog. So she pays like a monthly fee over there. So if, the dog breaks his leg or something happens and there's an illness, so LegalShield has something that goes kind of like in that field, or is it like if they get injured, somebody hits the dog, the protection is there? Like, where does that fall, kind of? Like, what do you guys? So
the pet insurance, and I don't know too much in detail about it because I'm not a pet owner, but I know it's there, and I've actually looked to see that it's there. So they get many discounts. So it may be, things, at their vet bill would be discounted, or and it's pretty steep discounts. So, the thing is with the member perks, you kind of got to check each and every manufacturer because they're all different types of discounts. It's not one straight across the board.
Exactly. So you got different one based on the carrier and all that.
Yeah.
So walk me through, let's say, for example, we talked about baggage before. So
Sure.
I'm a client, let's say, of LegalShield. I fly out and I get to my destination, my bag is damaged. I had a lot of valuables in there, I had jewelry in there. Now I got to do something. I have to put a claim so walk me through that process. What would happen? What would I do as a member of LegalShield? Step one, and then how does that process kind of go like?
So, and I can use my example because just recently I traveled, coming back from Charlotte, and I'm not going to say the airline. I guess it really doesn't matter, but I wouldn't recommend them for anyone. But anyway, they just destroyed my suitcase. I mean, I had used my suitcase 2 different times, so it was pretty much brand new. And I knew that I needed to talk to the baggage service people, not just walk out and not do anything. So I went. And the girl behind the desk, she really couldn't be bothered. She's on her phone, and all she does is point to this sign. Mm-hmm. Well, this sign was a QR code, an 800 number, and a website. Oh. So I thought, okay, I'm going to take a picture of it, and I'll deal with it when I get home. Mm-hmm. So that's what I did. So I took a picture, went home, tried to go online on their website, and I kept putting my information in there, and it wouldn't take it. It tells me my confirmation number was incorrect. Mm. I tried numerous times. So then I said, let me call the 800 number. 45 plus minutes later, I get somebody on the phone, and they tell me, we don't do baggage service claims or baggage claim service on the phone. You have to go through the website. And I'm like, ma'am, I've tried to do that numerous times. It's not letting me. Well, I'm sorry. She's just arguing back and forth. That's our policy. That's what we got to do. And I'm like, ma'am, I can't get through on the website. She goes, oh, we can't do it. And I said, well, never mind. I'll just contact my attorney. She's laughing, and I went on. Uh-huh. So what I did, and people can do or use our system many different ways. You can pick up the phone and call the old-fashioned way, or if you're tech savvy, we've got 2 mobile apps for both of our plans. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm really not the tech savvy person. However, it's pretty simple. It kind of walks you through it. So I went through, set up a request, took pictures of my suitcase, put my little notes in, exactly what happened and everything. And then at the end, I actually was able to set an appointment day and time for the attorney to call me back on it. Mm. So they called me back. I went over everything, in greater detail. And of course, they could see my pictures and everything and the cost. I even put my invoice from where I purchased the suitcase and all of that. And so what they did is they reviewed all of that, turned around and wrote a letter for me to the airline. And then, usually it's within 30 days because they've got a time limit, that the law firm gives them. Then you most of the time you get your money back. So then, you get a check back. Now, when the attorneys retrieve any kind of money, whether it's from whatever type of issue, they don't keep any portion of it. You get all of that back.
So you get 100% of that money back. Yep. There's no split, like
no split.
You hire a regular attorney firm, you pay a retainer, and then they take, 30% or whatever. No. You don't, that doesn't, wow.
No, you get it all back. So, that's how that particular thing works.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very good. So I wrote down a question here. What are the key legal challenges that your clients typically face, and how does LegalShield help them navigate those challenges?
Well, kind of like I've mentioned previously, first off, because people think LegalShield is like legal insurance. Where I don't want anybody to think we're legal insurance, but it is an insurance-like product. But if you think about all of your other types of insurance that are out there, your auto, your home, your health insurance, those types of things, something bad generally has to happen in order to be able to use it. And then most of the time, if you use it and you use it too many times, your rates are going to go up or they'll even drop you. So unlike those types of things, we encourage people to use our service. We want you to use it. You can use it multiple times a day if you want.
So you won't get canceled. And
you're not going to get canceled. Your rates are not going to go up. And just many different things. A lot of people, get their estate planning done. We do a will, a living will, healthcare power of attorney, a financial power of attorney. That's all included in our life events legal plan. So, usually it's the cost that keeps people away from doing things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But since we're providing it for them free of charge, pretty much, like I said, it's included in the plan, no additional stuff. But then you've got, consumer issues, debt collection, and you get tons and tons of advice and consultation. Mm-hmm. So they're directing you, they review contracts and documents. They write mm-hmm. letters, make phone calls for you. We help out with moving traffic violations. Mm. Just many different things that people are using the plans for. And, there are some more, how do I want to say that, more extensive type services, that may not necessarily be covered 100%, but at least through LegalShield, you're always going to get a minimum of a 25% discount. Mm-hmm. I know of no attorneys out there giving discounts, but, we do, assist for anything. If you've got an issue with divorce or child custody or mm-hmm. child support, or maybe you made a bad decision. Now you've got a criminal charge. Those types of things you normally are going to pay an attorney for anyway. Mm-hmm. But rather than paying full price for that attorney, you're going to get at least a member discount.
You get a discount.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you never pay full price for an attorney as long as you're a member with LegalShield.
That's great.
Yeah.
And how does LegalShield educate and empower its clients to understand the legal rights and make informed decisions?
Well, basically, it's really with, the advice and consultation. So when they call, or even when you set up a request through the mobile app, the person that you're speaking with is actual expert in that area of law. Mm-hmm. So they're going to give you the advice and consultation. They're going to ask or answer all of your questions and guide you on what you can and cannot do and what is legal, what is not, that type of thing. So I think the biggest thing is just knowing that you're speaking with an expert in that area of law. That's
awesome. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Now, does LegalShield have any affiliates or partnerships with any other organizations?
Well, I think we have many different affiliations that we assist with, or partner up with, in the employee benefits arena type of thing. Mm-hmm. But I think our biggest partnership really is the member perks program that I was telling you about with the 450 different vendors, and those are constantly, sometimes they do remove some of them, but they're constantly adding to that, so we have a, different choice of vendors or different things to choose from. And another big thing with those member perks is, everything's pretty expensive nowadays. Mm-hmm. But we've got hundreds of coupons in there. They're manufacturer coupons. And it's not just for food, but it's things for, your home, your laundry soap, your shampoo, your toilet paper, those types of things that really and truly, if you clip coupons, you could cover the cost of your service for a long time.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So, I mean,
tons of savings.
Tons of savings, yeah.
So the last thing I want to talk about, and I think this is going to be a good subject, ID theft. I think we can all agree that ID theft is really big right now. I mean, there's tons of things happening in all areas of all businesses with ID theft. So I know you guys have IDShield, right? That's what mm-hmm. it's called. So tell me a little bit about that. How is that different than these other people out there? Because there's other companies obviously out there that provide similar services, but let's talk about what you guys do
Sure.
and how it's different.
Sure. So, IDShield, really how we differ is we're number one, I always say we're the most comprehensive one out there. We have won many different awards through Forbes and stuff, just being the top of the line type of service. But, what we do is just way more than monitoring. We do complete restoration. What that simply means is whenever there's an issue, we're going to be the one to fix it. So, our members would call an 800 number.
Mm-hmm.
They get assigned to a licensed private investigator who's going to take care of fixing everything for them. They don't have to lose time from work or worry about who to call. They're going to take care of it for you. And the biggest thing is we don't have any claim forms that you have to file. So we're going to, do all of that. Yes, we do all types of monitoring, pretty much every kind of monitoring that you can think of. We do that. Not that monitoring's stopping anything. It just certainly lets you know a lot sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
You get real-time alerts. You can get that through your mobile app, or you can, just through your email, or, ever how you want to set that up.
Mm-hmm.
We also have our AI technology with our cloud-based through Trend Micro maximum security.
Mm-hmm.
So protection against malware and ransomware, that type of stuff. We also have the VPN through Proxy One. So, if you have many different devices, depending on which plan you get, an individual gets 3 different devices protected. For families, there's 15 different devices.
Mm-hmm.
And then also our password manager. So, a lot of people are doing silly things with passwords out there,
mm-hmm.
and or using the same password over and over again.
Yep.
And, at least through the password manager, that can help you to get more encrypted type passwords. And then you have one area to house all of those where you only have to remember one password.
Mm-hmm.
So that, helps you out with that. So just many different things, it's really an education process with identity theft, because most people, if you talk to them about identity theft, the first thing they want to think about is credit.
Right.
And, somebody took money out of my bank account or from my credit card or something like that. If somebody steals money from you like that, really isn't identity theft. That is just simply fraud.
Right. Yeah.
Your identity theft is, they're using your information. Maybe they've got your driver's license information,
Mm-hmm.
and even put their picture on it, on the driver's license. And maybe they go commit a crime in your name. Now they go to jail as you. Their buddies come bail them out, and they never show up to the next court date. So who are they looking for?
Yeah.
Not them. They're looking for you. So, that's identity theft. And who are you going to call to help you out with something like that? You can't just call your regular credit monitoring identity theft
That's not going to
stuff,
work.
because they're, not going to help you with that. A lot of people have banks or credit card identity theft protection. Well, that company is just providing that for that particular bank,
Mm-hmm.
for that particular credit card. Again, they're not helping you out. Anything happens with your social, your driver's license,
Yep.
your passport, your medical insurance, just so many different things happening out there.
Yeah.
And it's so prevalent. It's happening. There's, I think the statistic is one person's compromised every 3 seconds.
Every 3 seconds.
Every 3 seconds. And it's, I have several engineering companies that I work with here locally that provide our identity theft plan for their engineers, because they realize this, how important it is to keep their clearances clear,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. So,
Yeah.
It's something that I stand behind and back, and, very, very proud of what we do as a company.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Does IDShield help for like somebody takes your social security number and they start doing things with that. Does that cover that? Like, does it help in that field as well, or?
Yes.
It does.
So anything that you can, think about, as far as identity theft type of stuff. But if somebody, and again, our information's out there.
Yeah.
No way to stop it. So if somebody ever tells you they can stop identity theft, they're simply lying to you because it's impossible. But the best thing that you could ever do is have protection for when something does happen.
To reverse the damage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody gets your social and does something. So with our programs, usually monthly, if whatever you are having monitored, there's not been any changes to that, you get a simple email from us letting you know that there's not any changes.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime there's any type of changes, you're going to get a different kind of an email. They'll take you to a secured website. You can log in and you can see what that change is.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's something that you're unaware of, you're just going to pick up the phone and call and speak to your licensed private investigator, and they're going to take it from there.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
But identity theft is really big, and something happened to me recently. So my wife and I purchased a home. We had a home built over here in Viera. So when it was time for closing, and I'm also the mortgage broker on my own deal. Okay, so I'm doing my own loan, and about 4 days before closing, we were still waiting for it clear to close. Okay, with the bank, because that was at the point where rates were starting to go up, which obviously right now they're really, really high, but the rates were starting to climb really quickly. So now there was a huge influx of loans being pushed in to get cleared to close because trying to log these loans in. So I get an email from the title company that says, "Hey, congratulations, you're clear to close. And so we need you to wire us your money for closing prior to closing, so we can have everything set up because there's a big influx on closings right now." And it had the name of the person from the title company and everything. And I see that it's like 8 o'clock at night. And I'm like, huh. So I respond back and I'm like, hey, that's kind of funny because I'm the mortgage broker on my own file and I haven't seen my clear to close yet, but you guys got it first. I'm very surprised. Now I was like, okay, something's going on here.
Sure.
So I reach out to the manager over at the builder, and it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And I explained to her, I said, hey, are they working this late? And she's like, well, I know they've been working late, because all these closings. I'm like, but it's kind of funny because she's claiming that she's got my clear to close, but I'm inside my inside the bank.
Yeah.
I'm in the software and I don't see my clear to close yet. They're waiting for clearing. And she's like, well, I don't know. So the next morning, they had sent another email saying, hey, we're waiting for the money. And they had a specific dollar amount. And to be honest, it was about $113 difference from what I had to really bring at the end.
Wow.
Folks, they had access to not my email, but the builder's email or the title company's email. They accessed my file, my wife and I's file. They knew the estimated closing date.
Wow.
They knew and estimated how much needed to bring to closing.
Yeah.
And they asked for that. So for the average person, and they're freaking out, hey, closing's coming up, and hey, let me hit the wire, right? They go in their bank account, everything's done online now. Yeah. And then they just wire the funds, and then guess what happens afterwards? That money's gone.
Yeah.
And so, I caught it. I was like, hey, there's something wrong here. And I started seeing, next morning, we found out that somebody had access to their thing. But now the crazy part afterward is now we have to be worried because somebody had access now to our social security number. They had access to, our credit information, everything. So I had to lock my account, lock all my, it was a pain. So I did not have protection.
Sure.
So if something went bad, I would be the one running around trying to get this thing resolved, where you guys, in this case, I guess, would jump in and try to fix the problem and fix what's wrong. Yeah. So that's a great service you guys have. IDShield is really awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and another thing though too, there's a lot of stuff happening like that. There's so many different scams and phishing. When I say phishing, it's PHIS.
Yeah. not the one with the big bass.
Yeah. That people don't even realize, and they just click on a link and then it takes them, and just like you said, but had you, done something like that, then yes, LegalShield steps in and helps you out with that.
Yeah.
And, we do have $1 million policy, no claim form, again, not to mention our little competitor out there.
Right, yeah.
But, in the event that you lose funds or travel or work, income or anything like that, then yes, they will, assist you with that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So if somebody wants to get a hold of you, right? Because obviously you're going to get a lot of people that are going to see this. They're going to be reaching out. So how do they get a hold of you? If you don't mind telling the audience your number, your email, how do they reach you?
So the best way to just pick up the phone, call me. It's 321-537-7720. And I'll say that again, 321-537-7720. I do have an email address. It's rather long. So it's Tammy S. Gibbs. So Tammy, Tammy, S as in Sam, Gibbs, Gibbs, at LegalShieldAssociate.com. So
Awesome.
Tammy S. Gibbs at LegalShieldAssociate.com. The best thing to do is just pick up the phone and call me.
And just give you a call. She's awesome to speak with, so give her a call, guys. Well, Tammy, it was great seeing you. It was a pleasure.
Pleasure.
And folks, thank you very much. And we will see you on the next episode.